Hi guys, sorry I'm just making my camera focus. How is everyone? I'm seeing loads of messages in the chat. I'm going to cover all of them as we speak, but I'm going to give some people some time to run into it. Hope everyone's good. We're back for a live Q&A. These are going to happen every Monday at 5 p.m. BST, which is London time. If you guys have any questions throughout the live, just whack them in the chat. I'm going to get to them. But before I get into that, I wanted to just speak very briefly. I know there's only a few people in here now, but these get watched on repeat. And I want to just kick off this live by talking about something that Tom and I had a chat about earlier today, which was how the service offering for social media marketing agencies has changed over the past, I'd say really over the past 6 months, what a social media marketing agency has to offer in order to not only get results, but keep clients happy in 2023. But before I go into that, can everyone hear me okay? Can someone just whack something in the chat just to let me know you guys can hear me okay? Because I don't want to dive into this and no one hear me. Cool. Right. That's all I need. Right. Yeah. So in terms of the service delivery that you have to offer in a social media marketing agency in order to get client results and keep them happy and to really warrant a high fee, you have to do the following. 4 or 5 years ago, when I first started my social media marketing agency, there were loads of different agencies that were one service agencies. So what I mean by that is they'd work with an e-commerce brand, they'd work with a local business and just run Facebook ads. They'd just run one particular service for that business and they'd get results. You can no longer do that anymore. That was a successful thing to do 4 or 5 years ago because you could do it. You could run Facebook ads to a local business's website or an e-commerce brand, and you could get them really good results. You'd bring them in leads, you'd bring them in sales for really limited skill level. If I'm being brutally honest, like you could get a shoddy ad up and like I say, to their shoddy website, and you could bring them in a reasonable amount of revenue. However, you can no longer do that. And I've spoken about this in quite a few videos. And it's something Tom and I are quite passionate about because I feel like it's one of the main reasons why our agency is where it is. And it's one of the main reasons why our agency is going to the place it's going, because we offer a full stack marketing service for the brands that we work with. And what do I mean by that? Is when you work with a brand, you can't really get them to choose between your bronze, silver, and gold package. It doesn't really work like that. For example, what Tom and I offer, we offer Facebook ads, sales funnel creation, email marketing, the automation stuff on Go High Level, and that's the only product we offer. Like, and a brand can't come to us and say, Harry, can you just do Facebook ads for us? Can you just do TikTok ads for us? Because we'll just say no, for at least for our local businesses. E-commerce brands is a bit different because you have to do it to their existing website. But on a lead generation basis for beginner agencies and agencies performing really to a high level, is you have to offer an overall marketing package to these brands and not just individual services. For example, if we started working with a dental practice or a hair transplant clinic or a law company, if we just got Facebook ads up to their existing website, we wouldn't get any leads for them. Well, we would, but they wouldn't be very good quality. The only way we're going to work with them is if they get a landing page up that's designed by us in a very specific way. They have very specific automations on the back end to ensure there's a high quality of lead and they convert at a high rate. And that's the only way we're going to work with them. So that's something that I wanted to preface this chat with. Hopefully that sparked a few questions, because I can see there's a few questions on service delivery in the chat. But it's something that I'd really recommend, even if you're a beginner or if you're an agency earning $6-7 grand a month, is focus on that, because that will be why you can't keep clients very long. And that will be why you potentially can't sign a client, because more and more businesses now are looking for an agency that does everything. They really are. Which is going to be so important moving into 2024, that if you don't have that and you're not an expert in, an overall system where you're not relying on the existing assets of a business, such as their website, such as their existing content or whatever, you're really going to struggle. But feel free to ask any questions on that, guys, based on your business. But I'm going to go into the chat and just ask to answer any questions here. Luca, hi Harry. I have a goal is to get to 3 to 4K a month. How many hours in the evening every day would I need to put into my SMMA to get there and maintain? I have to balance it with a 9-to-5 job. Cheers, mate. I get this question a lot, and I can see some more questions down there and asking the same, a similar thing. Is Really, as much time as you can put in, and that's how I answer all of these questions, is the more time you can put in, the more you're going to get out of it. And there isn't a set number. And this is what most people want to hear when they ask that question is, right, you need to make 72 cold calls a day, which is going to get you X amount of results. And that's not the case. I could do 50 cold calls and get very different responses and a very different outcome than your 50 cold calls. So it all depends because everyone has a different learning phase. But really, and I took you through last week, I did the maths on this, which is for every 50 calls you make, or every 50 calls you make, you should book between 1 and 3 meetings when you're good at cold calling. Obviously, when you first start, you're not going to be that good at cold calling. So you're probably not going to book many meetings for your first like 300 calls. That's an exaggeration. It's also a generalization. But for 50 cold calls, you should be booking between 1 to 3 meetings if you're any good. And then further on from that, if you've got the correct presentation strategy and you know how to close and you know how to sell your services in the best possible way, you should really be closing between any less than 15% as a beginner, even at, let's say, 10%. So for every 10 meetings you have, you should really sign 1 client. So you can kind of extrapolate the maths there, and you can get 50 cold calls done very easily in 2 hours. So by the end of the week, if you do 2 hours a night every day of the week, by the end of the week, you should have around 15 meetings and hopefully close 1 over the next couple of weeks. So that's all based on you having the correct expertise, understanding your service delivery, understanding how to sell, understanding how to cold call effectively, how to prospect effectively. There's loads of moving parts that once you all get in line, it should be fairly quick to sign a client. And I don't like saying that, but it really should be when you've got your systems in play. How can I balance my tough university studies with SMMA? 9 to 5, I'm at uni. Then I have to spend a good 2 hours revising every evening. How much time do I need to spend every evening? Similar question. Goals 4K a month. Guys, 4K a month, literally 4 clients, an absolute minimum. Like 4 clients paying you $1,000, £1,000 a month. It's fairly straightforward to do if you've got your systems in place. You're going to need at least 2 hours a day for cold calling every single day to keep that pipeline full, because even once you get to 4K a month, it's whether you can stay at 4K a month, which is where you need to keep that pipeline full. So you need at least 2 hours a day for cold calling. And I'd recommend just taking in consideration your time difference, because if you're doing cold calling in the evening, you're not going to be able to cold call people in your country in the evening. Like the best time to cold call is probably between 10 and 12, sorry, in the AM. So if you're wanting to call people at that, the best time, and say you're in the UK, you're probably going to be best suited cold calling the US in the evenings. Because also you're going to have to be doing meetings with them and getting on calls with them. And if you're at a 9 to 5 job or at uni, you're not going to be able to do that at an appropriate time, because most people aren't going to want to get a call at 9 p.m. at night just because you're at your day job or whatever. So something you need to take into consideration. On average, how long do your academy members hold on to a client? I keep hearing a normal SMMA holds on to a client for 1 to 2 months. What you say, it's the same for your academy members. I actually don't know. I don't know the answer to this question, what the average retention rate of the academy is. Lots of academy members, once they get their agencies off the ground, I actually don't hear from a lot of them just because they don't need any more support. Like we've got multiple, I don't know how many, probably 10 to... don't know what the correct figures on that, so I'm not going to say. There's a fair few academy members earning over 10 grand a month. I don't know what the actual figure is now. I was going to base it off of last year's figures, but it's going to be way more. But my point is, lots of people come back into our circle to say, Harry, we've not spoken to you in ages. We're now at 10 grand a month, 12 grand a month. But I don't have the data on retention. It will be, I imagine, I'd like to think it's way above average. I'd like to think it's around six months average client retention. Ours is between 12 and 18 months. But yeah, I don't know what the average is. But when they're following stuff that we teach and how to deal with clients, how to manage clients, how to get them results, it's going to be way more than 1 to 2 months. And all academy members only sign a minimum of 3 months anyway, so it'll be more than 1 to 2 months. But the question there is actually very interesting. Why does the average SMMA keep a client for 1 to 2 months? And that's because they don't know how to deliver the service. So they've signed a client and they have no idea how to actually get them results that they potentially promised, which is failure number 1. They might have guaranteed something ridiculous, like you see the guarantees on social media all the time. I can get you X, Y, Z results. and then they're fall flat on their ass because they've not been able to deliver that guarantee. Their communication's terrible, which is usually what it is. If people don't know how to communicate properly, how to manage client expectations, how to give good customer service, that's probably, people lose clients due to communication more than actual results, believe it or not. And in the academy, we teach massively on that. So it's actually fairly easy, guys, to keep a client once you just follow the correct systems. People that lose clients after 1 month is because they have zero idea what to do. They've done no research. They just have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, hopefully that answers the question. Do you recommend to your academy members to go after one niche or target multiple businesses? So we give you a list of close to 100 different niches that we've kind of qualified for you that are good niches to go after. And then you can bring them to us and we can give you our opinion on whether that niche is good for you as a person. Some niches are better suited for certain people based on their lifestyle, their natural advantages, the type of person they are, age, experience. That all affects the correct niche you need to be going after, and we work closely with you with that if that's what you need. But yeah, we tell you to go after one so you can leverage the testimonials moving forward. I'm a student and really want to change my life and my family's life. I really want this to work and will work my ass off. Should I mention these things to a client or act super professional? 100% act super professional. You don't want, when a client's working with you, all they care about is if they put money in your hands, can you make them money in return? If you're talking about all your problems in your life and how stressed you are and like how much you really need this client's cash to change your life, they're going to be like, fuck that. Like, this is business. This isn't, I don't want to enter like a fucking therapist relationship, or like, I don't want to feel like I'm working with you to help you out. You're supposed to be helping me out. So act super professional. You almost want to do the opposite of what you've just mentioned there. Like, you don't want to come across as desperate, or you don't want to come across as you really need that project. Yes, you want to express your enthusiasm and how excited you are about the potential of working with a client, but you don't want them to think that, basically, you want them to think if they work with you or not, it makes zero difference to the success of your business. That's it. If they get any inkling that you're like desperate for it, they're going to think, well, then you don't actually have the business you say you can do. And this is where those guarantees are so unaligned, is that the same people that are doing the ridiculous guarantees are the same people that come across really desperate. So there's a disconnect there, isn't there? Like, if you've got half a brain cell, you can realize that if someone can do those crazy guarantees and guarantee it every single time, why would they be that desperate for the business? Because they'd be the best thing since sliced bread, surely. And that's where I have a massive problem with it. But yeah, come across super professional. Don't get too emotional on the calls. And yeah, you'll be fine. Please answer this honestly as possible. Genuinely, how possible it is me to get to consistent 3 to 4K a month while having a 9 to 5 job? Honestly, is that easily achievable? No, it's not easily achievable. Like, nothing about SMMA is easy. This isn't going to be you sit there at 2 hours of an evening watching Netflix, typing away, and you're suddenly going to get loads of people paying you thousands of pounds a month. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to graft. You're going to have to graft. And anyone who talks about SMMA, anyone on YouTube, anyone on Instagram that uses the word easy in the same sentence of setting up any business is just lying to you. Like, it's fucking hard. It is. Like, especially getting your business off the ground when you don't have testimonials, you've got to really prove yourself. It's fucking difficult to do. So it's not going to be easy. However, it's very achievable if you put the time and the work in. If you can put 2 hours aside, 3 hours aside in an evening, cold calling people in a different time zone because of that time difference, and you're learning every single day, right, I did this cold call. This is where I went wrong. This is where I didn't have an answer. Build those objections up, go again. Over time, you're going to naturally get better and you will smash your 3 to 4K a month. I remember when I first started SMMA, people were throwing around, I had a similar goal to you, just earn an extra few £1,000s a month just so I can escape the 9 to 5. And I heard people talk about 10 grand a month, 15 grand a month. And I just thought, what are these people talking about? That is physically not possible. And I looked at them the same way you guys probably look at lots of people on Instagram, which is, and there are people, they're like, rightly so, like, you should look at some people like that because they do just exaggerate what they make. But I looked at 10 grand a month and thought that is so unachievable. But until you make, and then once you hit the 3 to 4K a month mark, you're going to be like, shit, I can see how 10 grand is achievable now. And it is super achievable. And I think it takes you to sign that first client to get your first £1,000 a month coming in to realize that. But it's not easy. I don't want the word easy to be thrown around here. It's seriously not. But with the right processes and systems and the right strategies, you're put in a way better position. Yeah. If your goal was to get 5K a month while going to university and studying 2 hours every evening, what would your step-by-step plan be to achieve that? First of all, learn your service delivery. There's no point you doing outreach. There's no point you setting up an agency if you don't understand how to get clients good results. You have to understand how, when you sign a client, exactly step by step, how you're going to make them money. You absolutely have to, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to cold call anyone. You're not going to be able to have any presentations with anyone or meetings or talk about your business because you don't understand what you're offering. And that's where outsourcing all of your service delivery is so stupid, because if your plan when you sign client A is to give that service delivery to John over there, in those sales meetings, how are you going to answer any of the questions? Like you get asked very technical questions in these sales meetings, like, Harry, what do you want to do with my email list? How many emails do I need to send a week? What kind of lookalike audiences are you going to build? Because people are more and more in tune with how to market a product online now, these business owners. It's not like 4 years ago when I was getting on a meeting and I had to educate them what Facebook ads were. Most people now that you get in a meeting with will know what Facebook ads are. So if they're more knowledgeable about the service than you, because you're outsourcing it, they're never going to work with you. They want an expert. So I'd learn my service delivery. Once I learn my service delivery, I would spend every hour possible that I have cold calling businesses and just booking meetings. The more meetings you book, the more people that are going to show up, the more conversations you're going to have, the better you're going to be at selling your services, and the more clients you're going to close. How difficult is it to actually manage, maintain clients and give them results? I feel like no one speaks about it. It's the most important part. It is the most important part. And that's why 50% of the academy is service delivery. 50% service delivery, 50% sales. And yeah, it's like I just said there, that's the foundation of your business. You don't have a business without a service, which is what most people get so back to front. Most people will wait till they sign a client to then figure out what their service is. But unless your business is built on the correct foundations of, right, I have this strategy, you're not going to get anywhere. So difficult. Once you understand the strategy, it's straightforward. It's not like you just have to be creative, and there are processes that you can follow. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily difficult. It's might be more difficult if your brain doesn't work in that way, but it's not rocket science. It's just everyone can learn it. How much should you charge as a beginner? There's a rough rule where you say, right, and this isn't a general rule of thumb for a beginner, but you can charge what the ad spend is plus 20%. So if someone has $1,000 a month ad spend, you could charge $1,000 plus 20%, which would be $1,200. But also there's a conversation there where you just want to get your first client. So whatever you need to do to get it, once you get that first client, do a good job for them. They'll give you a testimonial, they'll give you a review, they'll give you a referral, and then you're up from there. So really, whatever you need to do to get the deal over the line for your first clients, recommended. But in terms of charging moving forward, you've got to be aware of what the state of play is in the marketing world. For example, if Tom and I are charging the same niche you're going after, $2,000 a month, you can't come in and charge $2,000 a month unless you've got the same testimonials, the same case studies as Tom and I, which you probably don't if you're a beginner. So there's no point you charging what an experienced agency is going to charge, because they're just going to win the business every single time. You have to be aware of the natural disadvantage you have as a beginner agency, unless you can seriously, and there's strategies around this, of how to position yourself as a more high-level marketing agency, even though you're a beginner. And there's loads of videos on this channel that kind of explains that. So as you told me to run all the lead magnet funnels, but I can't really find it. Right. So as you told me to run all the lead magnets, etc. funnels on the back end, but I can't really find any good accounting firms to reverse engineer or whose strategy I can imitate. Where can I find one? Not really sure what you mean by this, mate. Like you just build a sales funnel for the service that you're selling for that accountancy firm, and then push ads to it from a conversion, from just conversion ads, and then you have your automations on the back end. Like I said on the last call, I think that's what the follow-up question is. You have to get access to someone's strategy. Like you just finding a good accountant's firm on Facebook and Instagram and trying to mirror it, you're not going to be able to mirror it because there's so much stuff on the back end that happens that you don't have access to. And this is where courses are so useful, because you can get access to a strategy that's actually working, or from someone, or from people who have been around the block and understand how to deliver those services. You just copy and paste it. Trying to like reverse engineer is very difficult unless you're following a strategy that you know works. What different offer did you present to businesses when you started? I didn't have an offer, guys, and it's the same to this day. I don't have a crazy guarantee. I don't have a crazy offer in my business, which is where so many people get it wrong. And this is what's like, and I think this is why our YouTube channel doesn't have the following that lots of other channels has, because we don't fall into that. We don't fall into that trap. When we get onto a call with a business and we close multiple 8 and 9 figure businesses, every quarter, that we and without using an offer. And the reason when someone says, and we only get this very rarely, what's your guarantee, or do you have a guarantee? We say absolutely not. Can you give a guarantee that you're gonna give me, if personal trainer said, can you ask a personal trainer for a guarantee, saying what's your guarantee as a personal trainer? Can you guarantee I'm gonna have a 6-pack in 6 weeks time? And he'll turn around and say, no, because I can't guarantee you're not going to go away and eat donuts every night. Like, there's all these contingencies on it. And that's what we say to clients. Like, they can't guarantee their services. And neither can we, because there's so many moving parts in it. The only offer we have is that we're incredibly good at what we do. And from the meeting, and this is all comes down to the meeting, guys. Once you get on a meeting with someone and you're presenting your services and you're building a relationship, that's what you're doing. You're building a relationship and you're building rapport. People are going to buy with you and they're going to go ahead with your agency because they resonate with you as a person. You're not bringing anything to the table, really, that we couldn't bring, or XYZ agency that been around the block couldn't bring. Yes, you can portray your service delivery and your strategy in a different way, and that is different. However, the number one reason why someone's going to want to work with you is because they like you and they trust you. That's your offer. You are the only USP to your business. I run Facebook ads the same as you run Facebook ads. I run sales funnel creation the same as you run sales funnel creation. But do you resonate with that person? And are you good at building a relationship with that person to make sure that they trust you and they can trust putting their money in your hands? And that's the only offer you need. It really is. And that's not the answer that lots of people want to hear. But until you get to a point, and that's the only reason why people have guarantees as well, is because they're shit at building relationships. They're shit at building rapport and a connection with a potential business owner. And that's because they get on a presentation and their first thing they say is, hi, I'm Harry from XYZ agency. I have this guarantee that I guarantee you're going to make XYZ in the first 6 weeks. And they're completely switched off. Whereas when Tom and I or our sales team get on a call with them, we're like, right, just talk to me about your business. What's your struggles? We build a relationship over the first 15 minutes and we get them talking about their business. And then we diagnose the issues that they've said in that initial period with our services. And that's how we build such a good relationship. So you don't need a crazy offer. And I've never had a crazy offer. For the landing page, can you give some detail about how you would build it for a client? Would it just be a simple page with a CTA to call the client? No. So the landing pages you need to build on all your sales funnels. And if you're in the academy, you'll know that you get access to the templated version of our Go High Level sub accounts. So you get a template of our lead generation sales funnel, our e-commerce sales funnel, and all of the automations that go along with it. So what you need on there, you need the opt-in at the very top with a nice headline, with a bullet point list of what's included in the service. You want testimonials on there. You want a bit on there about what happens after they submit their lead information, because you've got to remember, from this landing page, from the Facebook ad or the YouTube ad or the Google ad, you're sending them to a sales funnel where they're submitting their information. So they're submitting their name, email address, and phone number. So you need to explain to them what happens after they submit their email or their phone number. Like what happens? Do they get a call? Do they get an email? Are they going to get spammed with messages? What happens? Then you need testimonials for social proof. You need an about us section. You need frequently asked questions. You need information about the service, benefits, not features, because features tell, benefits sell. So you need to just really sell the service on this landing page. And it has to be designed in a very specific way to get the most high quality of lead. Otherwise, you're going to attract the dribs and drabs, which no one wants. From your experience, when doing this single-handedly, no partners or directors, what's the maximum number of clients an agency can take at a given time? Good question. So I always say to people that you can take your agency to 10 grand a month just almost as a solo contractor. I got it to very close to 10 grand a month. So did Tom. And then we merged our agencies together, obviously. But that's very achievable. And 10 grand a month really is probably 7 clients. because you're going to get, as you get further on, you're going to be able to charge the 1,500, 2 grand a month, 2 grand a month mark. And so you can manage 7 clients very, very easily. And then once you get to 7 grand a month, you then need to just be self-aware and be like, right, which parts of the business am I not good at? If I'm really good at the sales part, then I'm going to employ someone in-house to do the service delivery. If I'm shit at the sales, I'll do the service delivery and I'll hire a salesperson. That was the first people that we brought on. We brought on an appointment setter, so someone to do all the cold calling for us. And then the team expanded from there. But yeah, very easy to get to 7 clients, which will be around 10 grand a month by yourself. Hopefully that answers your question, mate. I want to offer free meta ad services to have case studies. Don't have money to buy Go High Level for the automations. Can I start offering ads at the beginning and then offer other services? You can. Oh, and then you put, once I earn a little bit of money for Go High Level. You can, yeah, there's nothing stopping you doing it. However, what I mentioned at the beginning of this live was, it's going to be, if you're doing it on a free trial, you obviously want to get them the best possible results. And if you're just doing meta ads to their existing website, the leads are going to be shocking. They're not going to convert. They're not going to pick up because they're not going to be nurtured. They're not going to have had the relationship built. And the client's going to end up not converting any of the leads unless they have an incredible sales team. So you can do it if that's your only option. Yeah, I would, yeah. What you could do as an alternative is just get them to pay $97 a month for your Go High Level. Don't say it's for Go High Level, but say, right, I'm willing to do it for a free trial. The only contingency is you've got to pay for the credits, etc. and the Go High Level. I would do that. Hi, Ari, love the videos. They've helped me a lot. What do I do when my client I've just signed has their business page ad account banned? Do they have to create another business page? So business ad account. So you've got the ad account within the business manager bit banned. So step one is figure out why it's banned. So is the person's personal advertising rights restricted, which is therefore the business manager or ad account's been banned? If so, you can appeal the decision. Usually it just means you've got to submit your ID. Yeah, it really depends on what the reason is. If you can get it back, then 100%. If it's permanently restricted, which is the worst case scenario, you're just going to have to get someone else in their business, or like a business partner, a shareholder, or even a family member, to create a new business manager and then go in and connect all the assets up under a new business manager and just create a new ad account. We've done it loads of times. Like, we'll work with a client, they got their ad account banned or their business manager banned like 2 years ago. And then what we usually do is a family member. So get their wife to create one, or their son or daughter, or I don't know, whoever in the business, just to make a new business manager, because everyone can have two. So it's not the end of the world. But first of all, try and get it back by just appealing it, contacting Facebook. Believe it or not, Facebook actually have quite a good support and help service now. So yeah, I would try that first. Right, where are we? Hey, Ari, how you doing? Out of curiosity, could you ballpark what your agency revenue looks like, and how is an average day in your life as whatever K per month agency owner? So I actually done a video on this not so long ago. It's the thumbnail is 5K a month, like 20K a month, 50K a month, and what the different, like how your agencies look. And I kind of answered it there. So probably sub 10K a month, really, it should just be you. 10 to 20K a month when you're going to start getting like a few team members involved, probably a salesperson. And then from there, you're going to build out more media buyers, more sales people, potentially a more higher level director to help you past that mark to potentially scale. But yeah, that your job roles, as in your daily job roles, do change from like doing everything and anything, which is what you have to be at the very beginning, to you literally have to do everything and anything in your business, which is why I recommend it, so you can understand it all, so that when you hire people in those individual parts, you can manage them better. And I'm very aware, guys, that lots of people don't want to take it to that part. Like, you do have to be quite psychotic to want to take a business to 50, 60 grand a month, because it's fucking stressful. Whereas I know lots of you just want to start an SMMA to earn a few extra £1,000 a month, which is totally fine, which is you don't have to worry about hiring the team members. But for those that do, it's quite interesting. What else have I missed? Hi, Harry, can you rate this offer? You will only pay at closing after the first month. You don't pay if we don't get them. You will work only when the client shows up to an appointment and never follow up with the leads. I mean, the offer's great, mate, if you can do it. Like, it's, who am I to do your offer? But how much money are you going to make these guys with that offer? That'd be my only question. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Like it sounds good on paper, but whether you can deliver it, because like this is the problem with loads of guarantees and loads of offers. Like unless you can deliver 110% on what you're saying, over time you're just going to get called out and your brand's going to get affected. So my advice to that and anyone else who has an offer is make sure whatever you're offering you can 100% do. Otherwise, you're going to look silly. Tom Jarvis, hi Harry, I'm in the academy. It's class, love it, mate. Absolutely love it. Yeah, drop me a message, mate, because I believe I saw you on the last live call. Got one in 30 minutes. So anyone who's thinking about joining the academy, we do our live calls every Monday at 6. Either Tom or I, don't give it to anyone else. So very much like this, but it's on Zoom. So people share their screens for their ad accounts, want feedback on it, etc. It's really good. But yeah, love that feedback, Tom. It's an absolute pleasure to have you, mate. Tom, how should I pitch a small local aesthetics clinic with great branding but only limited budget? Certain I can get them clients. Should I run a trial or take payment and discount the first month, maybe? Good question. So a small local aesthetics clinic with great branding but only a limited budget. Completely your call, mate. I don't know where you're at in your agency. I don't know how many clients you have. If it is your first client, then just do it, but just make them aware that with a small budget comes a longer learning process and not as many leads as they potentially like. But what you could do is, if you really want to do it, just get them to. I personally, if it was the option between like 200 a month service fee to you and 200 on ads, I'd say put it all into the ad spend, 400 a month, 500 a month, and say, right, like I'm gonna do it for free. Let me see if I can get XYZ results. If so, then we go on to the service fee just to prove myself. If that's the case, if that's the difference of offering that for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is, to potentially sign your first client, then do it. Yeah, that's my best result. This is unfortunately, guys, this is my answer to a lot of these questions on like, would you do a free trial or would you do this? It's your call. It's like whatever you're willing to do, but just be aware of like how that makes you get viewed to the clients. You have to do it in a very careful way. Yeah, but if I'm being brutally honest, guys, it's your call. If you think that's what's going to get you your first client, then fucking do it, because then it's all up from there. Do you link clients' cards to their business manager or their ad account? You ask them to go into ad manager and add their card directly to the ad account, right? Yeah. So when you're onboarding a client, guys, you set up their business manager. You set up all of the ad sets, the pixels, the you set up everything in their business manager before you even bring in your business manager. So you set up their business manager to a T. You get them to add their card information to the business manager level, not the ad account level, so that when you create different ad accounts, there's that backup and default card. And you'll do that on the Zoom call with them, because you're going to have to show them where it is. But lots of people are like sending them instructions of how to onboard them. No, you need to get them on a Zoom call, share their screen with you, even take control of their screen using Zoom. And then you can just onboard them there, set up their ad accounts for them, set up everything for them, rather than saying, right, click top right, click that button, write this in here. It's just a faff. You can just take control of their screen and do it. And if they want to remove screen sharing while they type in their card information, then do that. And then once their business manager is set up correctly, you just connect your business manager, or you connect you as a person in their business manager, so you've got admin access to it all. Because there's going to be a time where you need to add something else, or this, that, and the other. We always recommend just being added as a person to the business manager. Yeah, that's gonna put you in the best position. Hi Harry, if you were just starting out, what would you focus on learning first to bring the most value to potential clients? It would be Facebook and Instagram ads, so meta ads, sales funnel creation, and go high level automations. Like that is really the recipe for success. You can get your agency to well over 20 grand a month with meta ads, sales funnel creation, email marketing, and go high level automations. That is good. That is a solid strategy. Yes, it has to be the most up-to-date strategy. 2023, that's you can't be using a Facebook ad strategy from 3 years ago that you watched on a YouTube video that got posted 3 years ago, because that's not going to work. It has to be a 2023 ad strategy, a 2023 sales funnel format that's designed like it's a 2023 website, with the correct go high level automations to get you the best possible results. But in terms of service delivery, that is going to get you to where you need to be if you're being niche specific. If you're changing what niches you're in all the time, then you're going to have to learn different services, because different niches need different services. Like some niches need YouTube ads, need Google ads, need TikTok ads. But if you're going after one niche that gets results with meta ads, then you're not going to have to keep chopping and changing your service. But that's the the solid foundation of a product you can offer to get a client good results. Hopefully that answered the question. Yeah, does anyone else, guys, have any more questions, or I will hop off? I've got a live call for the academy in 15 minutes, but if anyone has any more questions, I'll hang around for like 5 more minutes. If anyone has any questions, or any questions on service delivery, cold calling, what their goals are, how they're going to get to their goals in 2023. Like 2024 is going to be such a huge year for SMMA and marketing agencies. We've got probably 5 to 7 clients teed up to start in January. And that could be the same for your business, guys, if you're just getting these processes in order. And I hate to keep plugging the academy, but if you've, like Tom said, it's an incredible mentorship program. You get direct access to Tom and I. I wouldn't, if that wasn't true, there'd be people in this chat all the time saying, Harry, you're full of shit. This academy shit. It really isn't. Like, Tom and I are so invested. We want to see you guys succeed more than we want to succeed. And there's always a common misconception with the academy, which is like, why are you teaching people how to run a successful marketing agency? Isn't that building more competitors for you? And it's actually the complete opposite, guys. The reason why we made the academy, believe it or not, isn't for money. Like, we don't put any money into the academy. Like, zero. We have a £0 a month ad spend for the academy, because we don't care how many. We do care, but we don't care. We care because we want to shift the industry. We want to help change the marketing industry because of how shit it is, because of how many people scam people out of money all the time when they work with clients and have no idea how to deliver a service. It's the number one reason why we have the academy. And like I said, it wasn't made to make us money. It really wasn't. It was to help shift the industry. And that's the whole point. Like, if we can even make a dent on putting across on our content and in the academy of what the correct way to run a social media marketing agency is, then it's going to help us way more. Because if we get onto a client call and they've said they've been stung by an agency, that's so much more difficult to close than if they've had a good relationship with a past agency or whatever, because it's shifting the way the industry is perceived. And if you've done any cold calling or outreach, you'll know that as soon as you mention the word social media marketing, it's like a red flag to all businesses. They're like, oh shit, no, I've dealt with you people before. I don't want to work with you. I don't want to speak to you. And that's because of how shit the industry is, because people start an agency, have no idea and have no interest in growing a proper brand. And if we can help that through the academy and teach you the correct way to do it, and also help you make a fuck ton of money, it's a win-win for everyone. Final question, guys, then I'll hop off. I tried IG outreach and sent 100 DMs a day, but no response. That'll be because you sent 100 DMs a day, mate, and they wouldn't have all been personalized. I imagine that's a copy and paste job. So you've copy and pasted the same DM to every single business owner, and that's just not the way things work. So yeah, it would be focus on quality more than quantity. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, fair enough, mate. Like, what niche are you in? Let's dissect this before I jump off. Yeah, it's customized. All right, mate. So what niche are you in? Because that might interior. Have you tried cold calling? I'll come back to you, mate. I'll just answer this question. After they added their card to their Facebooks, and then we log in through our Facebook manager into theirs to manage their ads, how do we charge client for ad spend? What stops us from spending 10K if we have control of the card? So the client can put a cap on the ad spend that they can put an ad spend cap. So if they're the only financial manager of the business manager, they'll just put a £600 a month ad spend cap, so you can't spend more than that, and obviously you won't have access to their card details or whatever. Interior design from Algeria. I'd be very interested, mate. If you want to message me on Instagram, send me your Instagram message that you're sending. I'd be super interested to see what it is. there's lots of things of reasons why you wouldn't get any responses. Are you doing it from a personal brand? Is your head, like, do you have a professional headshot? Is your Instagram page filled with good content? If you're doing it from your personal Instagram page, like, I'm not saying this is what you do, but I've had people in the past say, Harry, why am I not signing clients from my Instagram page? And I go to their Instagram page and their profile picture is a picture of them partying, and their Instagram bio says smoke weed every day. And it's like, you've got to have a professional Instagram account from a personal brand that you'll build with really nice content to show that you're an expert in your stuff, not just, hi, you need to be running Facebook ads, let's get on a call. It just doesn't work like that. But the best way the quickest and fastest way you're gonna sign a client is through cold calling. So I'd recommend, I'd recommend getting that sorted and learning. Academy is brilliant, especially for service delivery knowledge. It's a no-brainer with the templates and the guidance. Thanks for the video. No worries, mate. Love it. Appreciate all you guys, the Academy members, just vouching for us. Massively appreciate that. All right, guys. Yeah, mate, if you want to send me your Instagram DM message on Instagram, I'll give you some feedback on it. But I'd recommend cold calling. It's going to dramatically help the success of your agency. But hope you enjoyed that, guys. We're back Monday. If you're in the academy, I know there's a few guys in here. I'm hopping on the usual Zoom link in 20 minutes. So yeah, I'll see you on there, and we can have a better discussion on Zoom where we can go back and forth. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. And yeah, I'll see you next week on Monday. Cheers, guys.